The U.S. government is investigating UFOs that aren't man-made. Congressional report says.
Interesting.
That would be the full. Yeah. All right, that's the UFO segment. Moving on.
That's a.
No, that came out today.
Oh, okay. No, I was gonna say I was telling Frank today that like I don't know, like I told you this before. I keep trying to get excited about this stuff. I don't know why. It's like, it's like there's like, like food that I've developed a taste for as I've gotten older, but the one thing I've never developed a taste for is like arak, right? Like one thing that I can't get excited about.
Arak,
yeah.
Licorice liquor.
Licorice liquor, yeah. And like I can't, like I guess it's cool, this stuff that's happening with these things, but like you okay, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm sorry. I moved away from the microphone. I was hoping.
It's
Continue.
like I feel like there has to be I don't know. I mean, like something has to happen.
I'm not excited either. I'm not excited. I'm just saying that
I'll be excited when the government literally comes out, instead of having these let's put it this way. Forget about even this having the stuff in your face and floating around Times Square. Even I'll be excited when the government actually comes out and says, like, guys, you're tax-paying citizens, and here's what we spoke about in the closed session.
Yeah, but this headline is
not a closed session anymore.
What you're describing.
Wonderful, but like, I want to hear from the horse's mouth. I want to hear it on camera. I don't want to.
I want to see an emergency broadcast system.
Yeah,
like this just in for the whole world.
I don't want to read it in an article. I want to hear it from some like Air Force guy on national freaking tele. I don't want to hear it in a podcast. I want to hear it on NBC News, like NBC freaking News, Fox News.
When you say you want to hear from an Air Force guy, you're talking about like the chief of the Air Force, that thing, not a pilot like we've already seen.
Chief of the Air Force to go on an emergency broadcast, and I don't want Biden to say it. I would like Trump to say it.
This is not a test. This is not a test.
Yeah, just like forget about because a lot of these podcasts, it's like, it's for like people want you watch that thing and Rogan and Alex Jones and this and that and whatever it is and blah blah blah, or like that History Channel. Dude, History Channel had like ancient aliens and people thought it was retarded, and it's like History Channel. You know how like people knocked History Channel down a notch after?
Yeah, they had the big balls guy. That guy did not help.
Yeah, or the guy with the hair,
with the crazy hair, and then the big balls guy.
It's like,
you know what it is? He's like this chubby guy.
Yeah,
I think his name is like Childers or something like that. He keeps talking about his field of study is to study these anomalous giant stone spheres that people keep finding, and they're clearly very, very ancient. Nobody has any idea how they were manufactured, and they find them all over. But he calls them balls, right? He says big balls, and also he has a very, very Connecticut type accent. So he goes, I don't know where these big balls came from. These big balls are everywhere. So there's like even a drinking game. Yeah. Apparently, that I've heard about. Every time he says balls, you drink.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not helping. Not helping.
Became kitsch, stick, whatever it is, and like it doesn't. That's the part. Again, it just doesn't.
I get you, man. I get you.
And it's sad to say that like after all this time, you would think that we would have not cared about officialdom, an official word from official sources. For me, it's not even about that. For me, it's about like just I know that most people only take something seriously when it's in the mainstream media.
I can offer a spiritual reason for that.
Okay.
So the leadership of a country, right? It's government, it's whatever, right?
Yeah.
Is determined by God.
Yeah.
Right? God will give people the leader that they deserve.
Yeah.
Rabbi Kessin, you posted something today. He's describing all about why America deserves Joe Biden temporarily at this point. But he also left on a positive note saying why we're going to get Trump back or something along those lines. Okay. So, by the way, he said that Joe Biden is our president because we didn't fight hard enough against abortion. That's essentially what it boils down to, and he's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but I didn't want to get stuck on that. So,
yeah.
But the leadership is put in place by God. People sense that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a hierarchy that people understand on a subconscious level. Again, that hierarchy goes from, God is everywhere. He doesn't need messengers and stuff like that. He chose to relate to his universe through this messenger type hierarchical system of angels and lesser angels and lesser angels and so on and so forth, until you get to the ministering angels, who are the angels directly above us humans in this hierarchy. Okay, this so so people can sense that if somebody takes over, if there's a coup, even regardless of whether or not, if they're clowns or if they're evil or whatever, there's something about that. There's something like God has a stamp on it, essentially. And that's why I think that's why it has such an effect on people, like even especially low information people. Like it has an effect. Look, you said it yourself just now. I want the government to come out and say it, even though you know full well that the government is a bunch of evil clowns.
Yeah.
But you still want to hear it from them, right? It's not because you want to hear it from them. Yeah. It's because you want to hear it from the authority that grants them authority.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
From God.
Yeah, I want to hear Hashem say, "Attention, hello, McFly."
Yeah. So exactly why. So the Marshmallow Man, who's that for? That's for ornery, salty New Yorkers, right? Yeah. Who they don't need a wake-up call, right? If they see a giant Marshmallow Man walking down Fifth Avenue, that will have the desired effect.
Yeah.
I'm starting to wonder if we see a giant Marshmallow Man, what is that? Is that going to have an effect, or people are going to people are so devoid, they're so disconnected.
They're going to think it's a balloon.
They're going to think it's a balloon. Like, oh wow, look at that high-tech balloon. How do they do it? Is that a hologram or something like that? Yeah. So you need a Biff Tannen. Yeah. Okay, who's twice the size of the Marshmallow Man, just picking everybody up and going, "Hello, McFly, hello," like that.
Hilarious.
Okay, you need Biff.
Yeah. Okay,
because the whole world is a Crispin Glover.
Yeah.
That's who we are. Yeah. That's who we are right now. Everybody's how could we possibly be tolerating what's going on in this country if we weren't Crispin Glover?
Exactly.
So we're not Charles Bronson and we're not Gunny Highway. We're Crispin Glover. Okay, in any movie. He's never been tough in any movie. Even when he was trying to be tough and or scary, and was it Charlie's Angels or something like that? He was like that creepy serial killer kind of villain, or it was a horror. I never saw the whole movie. It was awful. Yeah. But the part that I did see actually helped me with a pretty good metaphor for God. But I didn't need that movie. You have the show Charlie's Angels, right? Mm. So here's the metaphor that I came up with. You know how they never see Charlie? Folks at home, you have to be familiar with Charlie's Angels. You can probably just Wikipedia it. Yeah. Okay, so it's a crack team of these whatever.
Supposed smokestacks.
Yeah, who are deadly. They're deadly assassins. They're all, deadly. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So and they work for this guy, Charlie. He's like their handler, right? And but you never see Charlie. They always go to his office, and he speaks through a speaker.
Bill Murray is Bosley, but yeah.
Bosley is the secretary of Charlie. Yeah. Often suspected to be Charlie himself, but never proven. Kind of like Higgins.
Yeah.
Magnum.
And Crispin Glover plays Thin Man.
Yeah. Right. Who he's also somehow some kind of like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon martial. It was after Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, all of the martial arts scenes in movies became they just copied that completely absurd. Yeah. So basically God doesn't have a form, but he needs a way to communicate with us. So that speaker that like Charlie uses to communicate with the girls, that's every manifestation of God that we can see, experience, or even think about, talk about in some way is a speaker. It's one of those things. It's not a physical object, but it serves that purpose. It's a quote unquote a hand to shake.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not talking about a physical hand, but it's something to relate to, something to, look at when you're. It's hard to explain what I'm saying, but because there's nothing that can be said about God, like as He is unto Himself. So thank you, Charlie. Charlie's Angels. You gave me that metaphor. I think your work is done here in this world.
Exactly.
This house is clear.